and how pretty do these look on camera. Okay. Bell and Howell.
That's right.
I know that you are the Bell and Howell absolute king. You have brought us these LED flexible indoor grow lights. They have both red and blue LEDs, so now you don't have to need the perfect window, the perfect light, or even just the outdoor area to grow plants in your home. They also have a USB cord, so super easy and very transferable depending on where you want to be using this. If you do decide you want to anchor it, they do also come with 4 drywall anchors, and of course the mounting base if you want to just leave it somewhere, on a table. So you really can't say, oh, will it work in my exact space, because it is so convertible to any space you would want, including the fact that there are 3 arms, right?
That's right.
So this plant, or maybe a certain area of the plant. So please explain to me how this can actually work, and are there any plants I couldn't use it on?
No, you can use it anywhere on anything. Now, it can be customizable if you are a real horticulturalist or something.
Okay.
It does have the blue light, it does have the red light, but if you do the full spectrum, which is what I always do, it's good. It's just like the sunlight. You can use it for anything. Vegetables, herbs, spices, plants. It is a 3-head grow light. You've seen grow lights in the market. Well, why do we need them? Because it's winter, right? We want to grow things inside. And maybe you don't have as much sunlight as you want, or you can't use as much sunlight as you need because you're in a darker space. This is your way to get all of that. And I can flip it between the different lighting modes. Ooh. But a full spectrum is really where you want to stay. If you know nothing about growing plants like me, the full spectrum light is the best of the best. Now I'm going to pull this up into the shot here, Chris, sorry. Just to show you, we have this panel here that's super easy to use. You have your different brightness settings, your different light settings, on, off. Now I can do just 1 head, just 2 heads, or just 3 heads. I can even customize how many lights are on. You got 72, now watch this. So there's only this head, or only this head is on. Now I can turn them all 3 on. I can do just 2, I can do just 1, I can do all 3. You're in complete control. But you don't have to be. You can just set it on a timer, which has a 3, 6, or 9-hour timer built in. So these plants were grown with the grow light. These are my plants from home, okay? 1 of them is fake, 2 of them are real.
Oh my gosh.
This is like trivia all over again.
Girl, I can't tell.
Right, you can't.
I can't.
Tell.
I'm standing right here. I can't.
And that was the point, right? This little one here is fake, but everyone thought this little one here would be real because it's so small. No, these were very. This one, that one's fake. Yes, so that one is fake. But the bigger ones on the table is what impressed everybody because I've grown them from a little inkling plant up into this money tree here has gotten gigantic. If you go to YouTube and you watch my previous presentations on this, you'll see how small they were a couple of years ago. And now they're gigantic. And this one next to you, this branch up here almost needs a stability support because it's taller than your head on this screen right now. It's just so tall and it looks like plastic and you can see how shiny and healthy it is.
Yes.
Why? Because plants need 2 things. They need water and they need light, right? And so we're able to create and mimic sunlight with this grow light.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Look, I mean, the whole photosynthesis thing, it kind of eludes me how you can create it artificially. I know there are grow houses. I know this is how people, can create their own greenhouses indoors.
Yep.
But is the red and the blue light specifically something that aids in that process? Is there a reason that you have red and blue?
Yeah, and can I grab this box?
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you.
sure.
On this box, I'm gonna point it out to you. You don't have to remember anything, and you're gonna get a pamphlet included. But we make it very clear for you, because growing plants is hard, okay? Blue light is gonna be for vegetable growth.
Wow.
Red light is gonna be for flowering growth. Not only do we point it out here on the box, it's on your pamphlet on the inside, so you don't have to remember anything, okay? And so each one is meant for something different. However, when you put it on the full spectrum of light, meaning both of those at the same time, that's gonna be just like your sunlight outside. That's what I do, okay?
Cool.
I don't wanna have to know, am I in my vegetable growth stage of the growing process, now I'm in my flowering growth stage? If you are a plant lover or a vegetable lover and you're used to that, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. For those of us who are not, the full spectrum of light is good for anything and everything. You can't make a mistake with that. But if you are looking for that very specific light, yes, it is built in. Yes, it is a 3, 6, or 9 hour timer. So you don't have to see this light in the daytime. You're like, oh, I don't want that on in my house. Don't worry. You can put that timer to come on at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're asleep and go off by the time you wake up. So your plant is getting all that light when it needs it overnight when you're asleep.
Okay, so I have a basil plant in my living room, and it lives behind my couch.
Yes.
Because that happens to be where the window is. And I mean, it's like on the ground behind the couch, and then we have to move the couch and water it because we want to make sure it's getting light during the day. So for something like this, are you saying that even if something normally would, can I move the basil plant back to the kitchen is
You
what I'm
sure
asking.
can.
Even if there's no sunlight there at all, even if this is the only source of light that the plant will get?
That's really the purpose of why it was invented, is because so many, New Yorkers really loved this because they had very little sunlight because of all the buildings not coming through the lights. And so at the end of the day, you don't need any natural sunlight at all if you're using this. This mimics the sun by using the full spectrum of light, okay? You can do that. So the kitchen, the herbs, the spices that you're growing in the kitchen. One customer is growing a lemon tree. She sent me pictures. And so she's not using any pesticides or chemicals from things that she's not sure of. She's in complete control of her growth, right? Her plant and how it's growing. Now you got the different lighting modes as I pointed out, which is gonna be the blue, the red, and then the full spectrum, which
so pretty.
They're all on. It's a little, and I can even dim this down, and you might be able to see a little better if I dim it down.
Well, apparently, according to my sister, the blue wavelength is the hardest one to see, so it doesn't pick up on camera as well. I thought I was going blind, so I couldn't read some clocks across our room one day. She was like, no, honey, it's just because it's blue. But okay, so the fact that you have 3 of these, and each one, just so you know if you're curious at home, they're around 25 inches high, these arms. So you really can point and direct them towards your larger plants if you want, but if you decide to mount it or you do end up, moving it yourself, how about the fact that it's barely over a pound in weight?
Correct.
So light for something that does so much.
Yeah, you can use it basically everywhere. You're looking at your screen there, and that's one of the 3 head on this one plant. I could have several plants in the same area, okay? But if you are curious, like, what am I doing with this? It's a freestanding base. Like, you can set this huge base down, but take a look. If I take that base off, it's now a clip. It's a clamp. So I can clamp it to my countertop or my tabletop or anything like that on the back, or little keyhole, so I can mount it. Like, see that keyhole there and there? I could mount this on a wall and have it really high, like my fiddle leaf tree or my palm tree or things like that, and I want to grow it, I can mount it. But a lot of people clamp this to their pot. Like, you can just clamp it directly to your flower pot and you're able to grow it wherever you want. Here's what I know though. I have no more scheduled shows. This is very limited quantity.
This is so cool.
We are getting no more in the rest of the year. This is a very hard to manufacture type of item because of the science. Don't get me started on the engineering. But the 3 head with the flexible goosenecks gives you the versatility you've always wanted.
I'm glad you told me that it may not be coming back and that this is the only presentation, because there are fewer than 1,200 available total.
Wow.
And some people may be buying multiples because they're going to want it in different parts of their home. But I want you to remember that this is barely over 1 pound in weight. It can clip onto anything that you'd want it to clip. It can mount to the wall. It does come with the hardware to do that if you choose to, and an instruction manual. It can stand by itself with a base. It uses a USB, so there is no plug, there's no wall plug that's not gonna work with this that you don't already own. And it has a timer, so you don't even have to think about it once you go ahead and set it up. And now, as my best girlfriend told me, she goes, dogs are the new kids and plants are the new dogs. Everyone is loving their plants. Even the wardrobe woman who worked with me today, she's like, yes, I love my plants, they're my everything. Take care of your plants the way you know they want and need to be taken care of, and put these in your different rooms. Have the plants now in your bedroom where you couldn't before because of the light. Don't make your home space be the limitation of you having the plants that give you that nourishment, that happiness, that growth, that oxygen that we love and have in our home. Now you don't have to be dependent on windows for that, or balconies for that, or yards for that. This is such a great product, and for under $20, I mean, we're talking 50% off the cost here. Under $20 gets you this product. I'm not talking the flex price, that's the total price. Wow at TV Chad. This is a real wow product.
Exactly, a wow product. And we're wrapping this up, but I just want to point out, if you're asking yourself, how many do I need? This head right here, sorry, I just got out of the shot. This head right here is this unit. And so I've extended this head that way to cover this plant. I've got it here. I could get a couple of plants or 2 or 3 plants in the same area, and that's enough light to cover those 2 or 3 plants. You don't have to have all 3 heads together. The heads are meant to move around and get separate plants.
So one light's good enough for one plant. So if you have a corner of plants, you can really just use the one on all 3.
Yep.
Wow. If you love this item, we can recommend the QR code for it, because remember, there's not another presentation, and there is a limited quantity available. It's item number 790095, the Bell & Howell Bionic Grow LED Flexible Indoor Grow Light.
That's right.
I really enjoyed this. I call you at TV Chat, if you guys are wondering. That's his Instagram and social media handle, at TV.
Thanks, Natasha.
Oh, wow, you really did us something beautiful there. Please check out our Andrew Lessman products on hsn.com. We have free shipping, so you gotta love that, and so many monthly specials.